Hey YouTube. So today I'm coming to talk about the whole Troy Davis situation. First off, I want to say that I think it's really unfortunate that, you know, me personally, I'm sure I'm speaking, for other people, that this case didn't come to, many of our attention until, too late. It's unfortunate, that this happened, seeing that he was already in jail for 20 years, apparently, for a murder of a white cop that was off duty. First off, I want to say that the whole death penalty, and from what I read, his sentencing was delayed. Far as well, they kept pushing back the death sentences, like they kept, pushing it further and further down the line. I guess what I don't understand is, how can you put someone in jail, in prison for 20 years and that not be enough? They have to die too. I just don't understand, the whole logic behind that. Like, being in jail is punishment enough. The person just being on death row, I just think it's really sick and painful to have a person to just wait for their death. Just wait days and months and years at a time, just waiting to die, or waiting for a trial so a jury can decide when you die, or whether or not you die or not. I guess was really these kind of stories I kind of not like to read or even talk about or even think about, because it makes me angry to no end. And it's really messed up, and I'm sure a lot of you can agree, or some white people will probably get mad, at how black people feel about this, or just about the case. But who cares? Because a lot of it is true when I say that when I was reading the story and all the information about his trial and the case, they even say whether or not the cop was white. They just said, he shot an off-duty cop. And I just automatically knew, like, I bet the cop was white. Like, that's just what I thought. It's kind of messed up that a lot of us black people just already have this mentality that, black people don't get punished, or when they do get sentenced, we get the worst sentencing when it involves a Caucasian person. And it's a lot of truth to that. So you can't really blame a black person's, logic or the way they feel about that, because that's how I feel. And they have yet to even reveal, according to what I've read about the case, whether or not he was black, the cop was black, white, or whatever. But it's like, just reading about all this, what all this man was going through, it's like I just knew he was white. Um, the witnesses saying, oh, he did it, or he shot the cop, apparently were changing their stories, or the attorneys and the prosecutors and whomever didn't gather enough evidence in time or at all throughout this case. So common sense, or an average person will probably say this person probably doesn't need to die. Hell, they probably should just be released altogether if you don't have the appropriate evidence to prove that this person indeed killed this cop. It infuriates me, to just be perfectly honest. It gets me so upset. I don't even like reading it, because just going through something like that, I can imagine the anger and the frustration he went through all that time. And it's as far as the petition signs, and everybody was doing that, I read, and celebrities were even involved in the case, or showing support for Troy Davis. It almost seems like it didn't even matter as far as people sign. Well, at least that's how I feel. Like, it didn't even matter as far as people showing their support to Troy Davis, or people signing these petitions, because he's dead. They killed him. So obviously the people just doesn't matter. We don't matter. Our opinions and everything and how we feel about it or our beliefs goes right out the window. And that's another thing I don't agree with. You know, if only the justice system treated every case the same if it involves a murder, I don't think people would be as upset. I mean, someone died recently, Troy Davis, just yesterday. He was killed. I'm sorry. He was killed. So that's always going to be upsetting, no matter what the situation. So I'm not oblivious to that. However, I think if they treated all murder cases with the same intensity, as far as lengthy jail times and uh, 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 penalty, the death penalty, I think it would be a lot better on the family per se, or people who may have knew Troy Davis, or just people in general. Georgia, I mean, the state of Georgia really should just, I don't know, but they should be really ashamed of themselves. Like, this country, we should be ashamed of. Like, what are we teaching? What are we advocating? That it's a greater crime to kill a cop than it is a civilian? I mean, that's pretty much what I'm getting. That's what I'm gathering. But not all cops are, as we all know. That's a whole nother video. Because I don't even want to talk about cops right now. Because let's just say all cops aren't legit, and all cops are not working for the right reasons, and all cops, of course, do not respect civilians. They take their jobs a little bit too far, and I'm pretty sure most people can agree with me when I say that. But obviously, it's obviously favor being shown towards a cop or an official of some time, of some kind. My thing is, it should be that way with everybody, because we all are here in America. We all are citizens. A lot of us pay taxes. A lot of us work. Come on. Not excusing any type of murder. I'm just saying, a murder is a murder. It doesn't matter who you murder. I'm sick of this whole, just because you murdered a cop, your prison time should be, or your jail time should just be through the roof. Screw that. If you murder if you murder anybody, it should be judged and, sentenced, and everything should be done with that same type of intensity, regardless of race, your job, profession, occupation, of course, ethnic background, poverty, if working class, middle class. None of that should matter, because a life is a life. But unfortunately, obviously, America doesn't see it that way, and that's when I have a problem. You know, it's like so many lines I feel are being drawn when it concerns race and economic value and marital status. Even, it's like people turn down their noses on certain people, but at the same time, everybody still works. Everyone still lives here. You are a citizen. You have rights because you are a citizen here. If you are killed, these things, if anybody is killed, everything should be taken in consideration, and every case should be treated with the same accuracy. I mean, in this case, getting back, okay, because I'm just giving my opinion now, but back to Troy Davis. You claim you didn't have enough evidence, or the witnessing keep, going back and forth. Shouldn't it be a penalty for lying? I think it is. You can't lie on the stand, can you? Or if they catch you in a lie, that's pretty much jail time right there. If I think that's correct. So they should be thrown in prison for lying, for changing the story. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously this is a very serious case, and it involves a cop. So obviously it's very important to the courts and the judge and the government, whomever, because you sentenced this man to 20 years in prison. So I assume the fact that he killed or allegedly killed a cop obviously is very serious. So I don't understand. It just blows me away. It gets me so upset to no end. And I guess my message today is just, everybody, but particularly black people, let's not commit any murders. Let's not even be around people who we know may be involved in that life, because I know of people who got in trouble or have lengthy prison sentences just because they were around somebody who killed somebody else. So that's what I took from this whole thing. Like, let's not get involved with anything, because we'll probably get the maximum sentence. Because I guess, we're always the wrong color, or we're always in the wrong situation. So shit is just going to be harder on us anyway, even today. So it's messed up. I know a lot of people won't agree with what I just said, but screw it. I mean, can you blame someone thinking and feeling that way, seeing all that has happened, not just in the judicial system, but everywhere? You can't blame someone for feeling this way. So that's all I have to say. Like, let's just not, do any more, or just be around people who are like that, because this is not even worth it, man. It's not even worth. I'm just upset with the outcome. I don't even think he should have been in jail for that long. You ask me, but obviously that wasn't enough. So, tell me what you think, whatever about it. I think it's fucked up, it is. So, I'm a bit bothered by it. Of course, I pray for the family, anybody who was affected by it. I feel bad for not reading about it or hearing about it sooner, So, it's just what it is. But that's all I have to say. All right, bye.